Gamma ray bursts occur in a few milliseconds to several hundreds of seconds, and during that time, the energy they put out is actually more energy than the whole universe in the same period of time.
A gamma ray burst is the final collapse of a star. Every piece of the star is simply falling toward the center all at once. It gets incredibly dense, it gets incredibly hot, all sorts of nuclear reactions start to happen, radiation starts spewing out all over the place. It's just a maelstrom.
We see about one a day, going off in some galaxy somewhere in the cosmos. These gamma rays are at safe distances. They're just cosmic curiosities in the night. But suppose a gamma ray burst happened nearby, in our own galaxy. I don't want to be around for that day.
Because gamma ray bursts travel at the speed of light, towns around the globe would have no warning that a cosmic disaster was about to unfold.
If a gamma ray burst bursts, it'll be the brightest thing in the night or day sky. Won't be one sun in the sky, you'll see two suns. You'll know something bad is happening.
Although the closest star to the Earth that could explode is 8,000 light years away, even at that distance, a burst headed toward Earth would be catastrophic.
What it would do is it would boil off, essentially, the whole top of the Earth's atmosphere. And the consequences of that are very drastic.
First thing they'll do is take out our ozone layer. Completely take out all the ozone. Once you do that, by the way, the ozone is our defenses against high-energy radiation. So if that shield gets knocked out, we are bare.
Without the protection of the ozone layer, everyone around you, even those hiding in their basements, would begin to get what looked like a bad sunburn from the gamma radiation as it penetrated into the Earth's crust.
This is light, has enough energy to completely decompose the molecules that are the stuff of life.
Temperatures would rise dramatically. People outside would be burnt by the ultraviolet radiation. Without an ozone layer, anything with eyes would eventually be blinded. We're talking about the end of all life as we know it.
Within days, the radiation would begin to impact every living thing on a molecular level, stopping all cells from reproducing. Our fingernails and hair would stop growing, and worse, the cells in our intestines would stop regenerating, leaving us unable to absorb food or water.
Most of the living things on the planet, plants and animals alike, would not survive that kind of radiation.
After 1 month, almost all life would be gone from the face of the Earth. However, the remnants of our civilization, the buildings, cars, street lamps, would remain intact.
If any life survives a nearby explosion of a gamma ray burst, it would be the microbes that live deep under Earth's surface. There's some hope that life on Earth would continue, but bacteria will rule the world.
Now we move from the brilliant light of gamma ray bursts to the heart of darkness, the second deadly force created when a star dies. It's a cosmic vacuum cleaner sucking in anything that crosses its path. Could that be us?
If you look at textbooks from 100 and 200 years ago, they describe the universe as being this peaceful, gentle place. We have come to learn that the universe has no shortage of ways it can kill us.
One of the cosmos' deadliest threats is invisible, travels thousands of miles an hour, and devours everything in its path, a black hole.
Voracious is one of the best terms to use in describing a black hole. Anything that comes within their gravitational grip will fall in and will be consumed and turned into more black hole.
You shoot a nuclear weapon right into a black hole, and it wouldn't even notice. It would be smaller than a pinprick compared to the enormous gravitational pull of the black hole itself.
Scientists first discovered black holes in the 1970s, and since then have found tens of thousands of them scattered across the universe. Like a gamma ray burst, they're the death throes of a massive star, but with very different results.
Stars, as we come to know and love them, are these balls of gas that are neither shrinking nor expanding, they're in balance. Gravity wants to make them smaller, but the heat created by fusion in the core prevents that from happening. But what happens if the nuclear fuel runs out in the center? Then the star begins to cool. And when it cools, it no longer has the ability to sustain itself against the gravity. And the gravity wins and collapses the star.
When a star that was millions of miles across compresses itself down to the size of a single atom, it creates a massive gravitational pull.
The gravity is so strong that no matter your speed, if you try to ascend from this zone, its gravity will pull you right back in. Not only will you not escape, light can't escape. Its gravity is that strong.
Initially, scientists thought we had nothing to fear because black holes were stationary.
Then in the year 2000, all hell broke loose. At that point, we had conclusive evidence that there are wandering black holes, nomads, renegades, right next to us in our own backyard of the galaxy.
But luckily, so far, none of them seem to be heading our way.
It would be a bad day for the solar system if we got visited by a black hole. A contest between a black hole and the Earth? Earth would just lose. It's that simple.
If a black hole did wander into our cosmic neighborhood, the first indication would be subtle changes in the night sky.
The first thing you notice is that the orbits of the outer planets are a little disturbed by the existence of this black hole. Then they would become more disturbed and more disturbed.
Let's imagine that it's coming in at, say, 20 or 30 or 40 kilometers per second, about the velocity with which stars move through the Milky Way. Then it's going to take a few decades to move across the solar system. So we'd have, 20, 30, maybe 100 years warning, something like that, that we had a serious problem.
Within days of discovering the black hole, scientists would be able to tell us when and how we were going to die. Because the black hole would wreak havoc across the solar system, there would be no escape.
It would be very much like seeing a predator come in to your village and not being able to do anything.
As the black hole got closer to Earth, its gravity would begin to cause dramatic changes on the planet.
The tidal effects on Earth are going to be extreme. The tides on Earth are not going to be feet high or tens of feet high, but they're going to be miles high, and so the oceans will wash over the continents, and that probably would do in most people on Earth.
If there were survivors, they would be huddled on the remaining patches of high ground.
The psychological effects on everyone would be pretty bad. You'd know that it was over, that basically our existence on Earth as we knew it was over.
In the planet's final years, the black hole would begin to affect the Earth's orbit, causing winter's temperatures to plummet and summers to be unbearably hot.
When you finally get close enough for the black hole's gravity to start dominating the gravity of the Earth, then you start hearing the sucking sound as the atmosphere is sucked off through space towards the black hole, followed by everything that isn't nailed down on the surface of the Earth.
What will your body do in response? Your body will begin to stretch. Now, the body's kind of elastic. You can stretch a little bit. That's what you do before you work out. You stretch. So it might even feel good at first. But then the difference in force of gravity will continue to grow. And there'll be a point where it will become decidedly uncomfortable for you.
Your feet would be ripped off of your body, followed by your legs, torso, etc.
You're 1 piece, 2 pieces, 4 pieces, 8 pieces, 16, 32, 64, and you bifurcate your way all the way down to the singularity. I think if you gotta go, that's gotta be fun. If I were to pick a way to die cosmically, that would be the way to do it, for sure.